Let's be real. Your holiday playlist is probably about to get a major upgrade. Today, we're going to dive into the debut EP from a new R&B and soul artist who is totally redefining the sound of the season. His name is LOVIN, and this project, it's called Some Holiday Lovin'.
Okay, think about your go-to holiday music for a second. You've got the classics, right? The pop hits, maybe some cozy jazz. But what about when the night winds down? Maybe the kids are asleep. What do you put on then? Is there a certain vibe that's just missing from the usual rotation?
You know what I'm talking about. So much of the holiday music we hear is very family-focused, very commercial. It's festive, for sure, but what about the other side of the holidays? That intimate, kind of sensual, grown folk vibe that's all about the deep connection between two people. And that right there, that's the gap in the market we're looking at today. There's this real void when it comes to modern holiday music made just for couples. You know, music that sets a mood that's way more romantic than retail.
And stepping right into this void comes a whole new sound. It's a sound that feels like it's been dipped in the warmth of vintage soul, with a groove that's somehow both classic and totally fresh.
And at the absolute center of it all is a voice that early listeners are already describing as smoke and honey. This deep, velvet baritone that feels so grounding and just incredibly smooth.
So who's the solution to this holiday void? Well, let's go ahead and make the formal introduction to the artist who's filling this space. LOVIN.
And LOVIN isn't just a name, it's practically a mission statement. He is the velvet baritone artist behind the debut EP, Some Holiday Lovin', and it was made specifically to bring that intimate, soulful sound back to the season.
So, now we know who he is, but what does he actually sound like? Let's break down the ingredients that make up this unique holiday velvet sound he's got going on.
The whole sonic landscape is just lush. It's warm, and it's built on these thick bass lines and smooth, velvety harmonies. You can totally hear the classic nods to legends like Barry White and Isaac Hayes, especially in those spoken word parts. But there's a modern edge here, a tender yet confident way of telling a story that's aimed right at a grown audience looking for some real emotional depth.
Now, the EP itself is really a journey. It's not just one single mood, but a whole collection that explores all the different sides of romance during the holidays. Let's take a look at how that journey unfolds.
It's a really tight, focused project. We're talking 7 distinct tracks, and each one is designed to explore a different dimension of that seasonal connection, from that first playful flirtation all the way to deep, lasting commitment.
So the EP kicks off with this really fun and playful track called Candy Cane Lovin'. The lyrics just capture that joyful, flirty energy, the sweet anticipation of holiday romance. Then you get tracks like Cold Night's Warm Fire, which leans right into that classic theme of finding warmth and comfort in each other when it's freezing outside. It's all about that intimacy and shelter.
And this EP goes way deeper than just some seasonal fling. On Forever Starts With You, the lyrics shift to talking about long-term commitment, promising a love that grows stronger not just through the holidays, but through every single year.
The lyrical depth here is just incredible. I mean, the track Woman of Seven Lights beautifully lines up with the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, celebrating things like unity, self-determination, collective work, and faith, and it frames them as qualities that are embodied in a partner. It's such a powerful, layered tribute.
So who is the man behind this music? The artist, LOVIN, has a personal journey that adds a whole other layer of meaning to this entire project.
In his own words, he's faced some pretty big challenges in the industry, talking about a lack of opportunities for artists of color where he's from. So this EP, it's not just a creative release for him. He calls it a dream finally accomplished, a chance for his voice to really be heard on his own terms.
He also jumps into the modern conversation around creative tools. He frames his use of production software, including AI, as just part of a long history of technology and art, kind of like how filmmakers use CGI or how musicians have been using software for decades. It's his take on how artistry evolves.
Okay, so putting it all together, the sound, the message, the artist's journey, what's the potential impact here? Could Some Holiday Lovin' actually become a new staple for our playlists?
Well, he's already getting some really strong endorsements. Fellow artist Goddess Sage put it perfectly. She said, "This is the kind of holiday music we've been wanting to add to our playlist." She praises the EP for honoring love with fullness, sensuality, and real emotional richness.
And that really brings us to the final crucial question, doesn't it? Is she right? Has LOVIN actually done it? Has he filled that void for intimate, soulful holiday music for couples?
Honestly, there's only one way to find out. Press play and decide for yourself.